skulle sammen krybe igennem. Lad os hælde de samme kår, der vi sammen står. Det er lige meget, hvem vi bærer til. Ser til den, der vil få lidt blik og vinger, slikker hvem vil. Navngiv hver en krig. Hvis du kunne, vil du vel nok sige. Det er lige meget, hvem vi bærer til. At krybe sammen om det eneste, vi er gode til. Smide brændet på den endeløse skærsild. Lægge navn til det, vi tror, det er jeg til. Er til. En mørk gang fyldes med genklang. Og et kært barn lider vel mange navn. Hvis du kunne, hvem vil du give fred til? Det er lige meget, spørg hvis du vil. Ser til den, der vil. Men lige om din fordom over mit liv. Vend mig samme vej. Flyver blink til Kina, sind kom med mig. Ser til den, der vil. Få lidt blik og vinger, slikker hvem vil. Navngiv hver en krig. Hvis du kunne, vil du vel nok sige. Det er lige meget, hvem vi bærer til. Krybe sammen om det eneste, vi er gode til. Smide brændet på den endeløse skærsild. Og lægge navn til det, vi tror, det er det, jeg til.
Good evening, and good evening. I must work out why that setting keeps getting corrupted. Right, welcome back to to northern Italy in the 10th century, where Queen Drusilla the Apostle is still on the throne, and very little has happened. What happened in the last session? Did I actually capture that bit? I'm certainly trying to convert this area into Catholicism and feudalism in that order, which is fairly slow. And I was trying to wreak some inheritances to inherit some territory from Germany, but it was turning out quite hard to find suitable people to do the inheriting. So when we stopped, we found like one person who looked like he was going to inherit looked like he might inherit the county of Zerbst. And since he is technically of count rank, that ought to work. And it looks like maybe because he's not a count, he's inheriting it, even though it's inherited by Gavelkind, which would usually exclude anyone who was already a count. So, like, I'm slightly confused by this, but whatever. I am thinking maybe I should give some of this territory to young Giancarlo so that he becomes... Sorry, Gianleone, so that he becomes a little bit more popular and indeed prestigious. Because I think there's a certain amount of reluctance to grant the crown to people who are untested. I mean, not that it really matters. He's hugely popular anyway. I mean, apart from with the Doge of Genoa, who utterly hates him. For like 17 reasons, apparently. Who else doesn't like him? Got a slightly low rating there. Yeah, he'd be better off if he could get rid of Lustful, wouldn't he? But mostly it's the Italians who don't like the fact that I'm Italian and they're Italian, but our heir is not Italian. Oh yes, I was thinking that the conversion would probably go better if we could increase the... I was going to say if we could increase the moral authority of the Catholic Church, but despite the existence of an anti-pope, we've won so many holy wars lately that the moral authority of the Catholic Church is 97.9%. So, no, I was wondering about deposing my dear sister's anti-pope. Is she my sister? But frankly, at that level, it's hardly worth it. Cousin, my dear cousin's anti-pope. But like, if we're at 97%, let's just leave her with the God's how many wars is she in trying to depose her anti-pope? Like, one of them is going 100% against her. Surely she'll surrender and...
The anti-pope will be deposed.
She is currently in 6 separate wars, all of them attempting to depose her anti-pope.
Right, well, I'm pretty sure that one of them's being succeeded.
Is she doing well in any of
No. Yes. She's winning the war against Count Egbert of Orvieto by quite a lot. And the one against Count Adone of Verona. And the one against Count Landolfo of Mantua. So the ones that are mere counts going up against her, she's winning. The ones against dukes, less so. I mean, I'm quite happy for her anti-pope to be deposed anyway, because, like, I want to set my own one up.
I mean, if she's fighting 6 people at once and actually beating 3 of them, even if there's smaller ones, one feels this is the sort of thing where if you did it, defensive pacts would fall against you.
You only get defensive pacts if you actually expand, and she hasn't been expanding. These are all this is 6 defensive wars, desperately trying to keep people from kicking her anti-pope out. I mean, I could join in. So, I mean, I can kind of see why you do it. 500 piety, 250 prestige. Who cares about the anti-pope? And then, yes. And the Pope loves you as well. Meanwhile, poor Queen Oda loses 500 piety and 250 prestige. But only one of these wars can be won by anyone, of course. All the others will immediately become invalid. So, presumably, Duke Martin of Tuscany ought to be demanding surrender right now, because otherwise someone else is going to win their war first and get those 500 piety and 250 prestige. Yeah, anyway... But I don't need to do that because, frankly, we've got plenty of moral authority. Can I... will this tell me what the moral authority of... No. How do I find out about other people's religions, then? There we are. So that's Slavic, isn't it? It's across... Oh no, hang on. It's across the boundary. It's remover. Which does only have 9% moral authority. So one might hope that really we should be able to convert remover counties quite quickly. He is still only at 5.7% per annum, which is kind of slow. He does only have 19 learning, but that's by far the best we can achieve in our realm. That's a bit embarrassing. Or in our council, in our the people who are currently eligible to become court chaplain. So the thing is that we need this place to become these counties to become Catholic before we can convert them to feudalism, and we need that before we can reasonably fortify them. And I kind of want to do that before we appoint people to those counties, though. Like if I have to, I'll.
I was about to comment on the lighthouse, particularly one of those counties, and then realise it was a bishop.
Yes.
Morally, it's a lighthouse.
I mean, there presumably is a lighthouse. There.
Oh, yes.
One lighthouse.
Alexandria.
Yes. Alexandria.
Well, there won't be any other lighthouses unless someone else has built another lighthouse straight to brickwork.
On which subject? Here is the building site for the Grand Library of Capua, which is 37% complete. It's been under construction for 10 years.
We've got another 17 to go probably.
So yes, we have a while to go.
Fine, I've got so many great works now, I now can remember roughly how long this would take.
Which we built sneakily while engaged in a war to take back the Apostolic Palace, because I wanted to build it while I didn't own any great works.
Yes.
So yes, the question is, what do we do now? We're kind of we would like to eventually be able to usurp the Kingdom of Germany, which is likely to be getting trickier because it's starting to acquire territory from Bavaria. Well, it has acquired territory from Bavaria, in fact. There's also the slight danger that we are now at 50 years of having occupied Franconia, so that will soon cease being de jure part of Germany, which will be its own problem. We also can't usurp it at the moment because the King of Germany is at war. On the other hand, the Kingdom of Germany is weakening relative to the Kingdom of Italy. It is technically has fewer troops than us now. And is engaged in more wars. So possibly we should simply start stomping in and stealing lumps. Obviously we have to find a pretext for stomping in and stealing bits of Germany, but I don't know if we actually have a claimant on Thuringia. There's definitely someone who looked like a good claimant. Yes, here. Sibyl von Weimar has a strong claim on the Duchy of Thuringia. We can't comfortably land her because she's a woman. Nuisance. I mean, to an extent, making her independent is a pretty good start. Those two only have weak claims. Just see if there's anyone else with a strong claim. Another woman. It's all women. unhelpful. Siegmund has a weak claim. Oh, he has a strong claim on Nordgau, though. Is Nordgau useful? Only 2 counties, and plus he wouldn't come to my court anyway. On the other hand, Karl von Babenberg has a strong claim on Nordgau if we actually want a strong claim on a 2-county duchy. I mean, do we have any claimants kicking around at the moment? If we were to just go, hey, you...
Why can we declare war on you right now?
We had a claimant on Canton, but Canton's not very helpful because I think Canton is actually still independent, plus we're trying to get that by murder. So Canton is largely... so that is the current holder of Canton not got any other duchies then? Yes, okay, so we would actually get all of that territory, which would be entertaining. It's not bad. I mean, it's only 2 counties that are de jure Germany, but on the other hand, it grabs a lot more de facto German territory. Like, what? Because otherwise you've got these 2 which are each 2 counties. The other good duchy, I think, was... no, not that one. That one. Angria, which is, I think, 4 counties. And held by someone who only holds Angria. And we could recruit Aaron. He's only got a weak claim. Christopher? No. But I think that and Thuringia are the only really good, only really big... Oh, is that one? No, that's now those 3, isn't it? Yeah. All of which are inside de jure Germany. No good claimants, though. Well, except Katerina, whom we've already got in our court, but she's only got a weak claim. So, I mean, we've got someone we can do Thuringia with, which is, like, even justifiably should be Italian territory anyway. Thuringia? Carinthia. Canton. That's the bunny. So, yeah, I'm kind of tempted just to say, let's start declaring war on Germany because he's at war and I'm not. And see how quickly we can get Canton off him. Because that looks like being a fairly easy... That looks like being reasonably useful. Two de jure counties, bunch of other territory. It adjoins Italy already. It fills in that little gap there. Saves murdering people.
They could put some other people instead.
Yeah.
Saves murdering people, as in frees up right up to murder someone more deserved.
Yes. I mean... So the only issue is that I need to land Mangold Hoopholdinger. Oh, so the problem is if I land him in a tribe, will he thus become tribal everywhere? he can probably turn himself.
He will become tribal everywhere, but usually, if you're feudal, he will probably eventually turn, and you can speed things up by helping him build the stone hill forts that's necessary.
And what'll happen is what'll happen is he'll be a tribal ruler with feudal people under him, won't he?
I think so.
And yes, we can do that. And the point is that in particular, if he is then, so let's make Mangold Hupoldinger. Let's grant him a convenient tribe up here in
Up here. The advantage is that your tribal vassals won't count towards your vassal limit, but once they're feudalised, they will.
Yes, that's fine. I'm way off my vassal limit.
Right, fine. I mostly ran into this problem when I had a few gentiles.
So which one do we want to give him? Let's give him Marienburg. Oh yes, let's just check. Does Marienburg only have a tribe? It does. Is Marienburg tribe currently... Marienburg tribe already has a stone hill fort. Excellent. I have no money anyway. So let's grant Mangold Hupoldinger Marienburg. Right, so Mangold Hupoldinger is now Chief Mangold of Marienburg. Right.
Chief Mangold was
he also has a claim on the Duchy of Chrétien, which is currently unoccupied.
Where is it?
Is nowhere. I mean, de jure, I think it's around Chur in Switzerland.
Well, if you can conquer enough, it's de jure.
I mean, he'll have. Well, I've currently got half of it. I think it's Schweiz and Chur. So I've currently got half of it, and he has a claim on the duchy that currently owns the other half. He's also got weak claims on like everything in Germany, most of which I already control. But like he can fight over that inside the kingdom. Right. So let us be unhelpful to the King of Germany. How's he doing in that war anyway? He is slowly losing it. Excellent. Also got some county de jure claims, but let's deprive him of Kärnten first. Plus I have 15 zillion allies if I really need them. So we're probably going to want to raise basically all of our things, all of my personal levies, and I mean probably everything except I won't bother raising Majorca on the grounds that they're in Majorca.
It's a fact to get them out.
Yeah, and like there's not many of them. Majorca I just leave Majorca to do its own thing these days. I mean, what I'll do is I'll raise them and then I'll dismiss them. But
because otherwise it's so much more faff to raise everyone else.
right. Also, I seem to have raised 39 troops in Sardinia. They can go away as well. Right. There are 10,000 German troops just on my border there. Here, you guys have a really good organiser and run away. 12,000. No, hang on. How many have I? Let's see how many I've just raised. So I currently have 14,000 raised.
But of course, at the moment, they are inconveniently spread out across your kingdom
Yes.
and vulnerable to an actual convened army of 10,000 people sitting on your doorstep going, no, 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 no.
Let's start by accumulating everyone from that side in one place. Get you lot at least vaguely into the right place. So what's going on here? They're not currently marching into Provence, so that's good. Tempted to call in some allies as well. And most of them are fairly useless. Volhynia can do me 5,000 men though. Maybe. Rather oddly, he has a +5 opinion of my battlefield betrayal, I think because he's deceitful. Oh, but also a -10, yes. Go on, I'll call you in. You're a distance away, so I need to do it fairly early. Oh, is that our Gianleone? Yes, he has a daughter. Well, kind of. Okay, yes, not born to him and his wife. Mind, I thought he wasn't married to someone with that kind of a name. No, her mother is Athelhild of Mercia. A courtier of mine whose reason for being here is a complete mystery to me. Okay, hello, Jacanta. Everyone's leaving the defensive pact against me. Excellent. Right, does that mean we no longer... Right, yes, we now have a bunch of various Romagnol anti-papal wars have ended inconclusively. Casus Belli no longer valid. So, yes, I think there is no longer an anti-pope for now. We are now down to just Pope Urbanus II. My troops are gathering in Genoa. I think we could probably actually usefully gather. Right. Maybe somewhere a bit further east. I don't know. It's going to take a little while. Okay, if you say so. Oda Ludolfinger, yes, I suppose, has revoked the county from her former anti-pope. Prince Alboino, who was not a genius, indeed has turned out fairly poorly. But to try to get more genius into the family, he is betrothed to Nyek Etel, who at 13 does not yet have such good stats as he does. There's only an 8,000 supply limit in Chur. Maybe we should start. Is it winter there still? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's start by heading over into Carinthia proper. Where's the Galician Volhynian army? It's not as big as I'd hoped. Oh well. It'll help. It doesn't look like the Germans are about to stomp into my territory, so I think we pick up everyone and send them there. Oh! Okay, that's where the German army is it? Yes, it just got into a fight with me. How infuriating. Stop it. Let's send that lot also down there then. No, I think not by that route. I think we're sending them through Bohemia. And we will join those two together and give them one of our organisers, and if we're lucky we've got another organiser we can stick on there, right, which should help them to outrun the Germans. He's suddenly got a lot more troops, partly because he hired some. Still losing that war mind. Maybe we should call in all the favours. I've lost my Chancellor. Let's see if we can find someone good then. If he'll come and join my court, that's fine. Not a very helpful sort order. Send him to the Duchy of Franconia. Maybe don't march straight into that enemy army. Okay, we're not going to march straight into that enemy army apparently. We're going to march just round that enemy army. Okay. So besieging my trade posts, that's very helpful. Don't get any war score for besieging trade posts. What's going on here? Salernian civil war has ended, who knows what was going on there. Right, yes, they're... Oh, Latium's dealing with that one. Good. It's like I'm busy. Oops. May as well call everyone in. What happened to our... Oh, we've got a new king of Croatia. How inconvenient.
Was Croatia your ally?
Yes. Maybe I don't need to watch all my neighbours. Oh, have I? Sorry, I try not to. He's not a heretic. He's not a heretic.
He's a very naughty boy.
He's a heretic. Why are you a heretic? Stop being a heretic. Okay, that was not a very helpful conversion because it's just one of my unfortunately heretical provinces. Oh, is the supply limit in there is not too bad. Oh, are you subject to a lower supply limit? Okay, I can see that would be a problem, yes. That's fine. I'm not about to go to war with Oda. Where are you off to anyway? There's a biggish German army up there. That we... Oh, don't walk into that. Well, unless you really want to. And possibly you could actually save that. I mean, that's presumably some other war you're involved in. And not therefore my problem, technically. So what are the German troops up to? If we can see them. I don't think any of those battles have been ones that matter, happily. I seem to be running out of allies here. These guys are at least coming back to join me. So the supply limit here is pretty low. Well, that's fine. I'll move into a different county anyway. How's the supply limit there? Yeah, probably alright. Hills, I should think about where I want to meet this German army. Marsh. Mountains. What's the supply limit in those mountains? Terrible, right. So what we should do then is split this army roughly in half and stick half of it in those mountains. The other half can stay where they currently are in the hills. Anna seems to have lost her tutor. She is still... Oh dear. She is still inconveniently Italian. Let us see if we can find a good tutor for her.
Is she currently your leading candidate?
Oh no, she's like 5 down. But
Okay. But you're trying to generally get the...
I'm getting the next generation to be as German as possible.
It's a small problem that...
Very confusing sentence given when I'm currently reading that link I posted about Star Trek.
Just a small problem. This now means that half people don't make the next generation because they're too German.
Well, it kind of turns out that I don't have that many Italian vassals. So it's not as big a problem as
It
you
doesn't
might
have to
think.
be vassals, the electors.
Yeah, but my vassals are my electors.
Yes.
Adaltrudius looks good. Oh, except that... Oh no, yes, apparently she is German. Yes, that will do nicely. Right, so I need to be quite cautious here. How are they... Oh right, they're barely over the supply limit. That's probably okay. So then... That's kind of awkward. Like, I don't... Right, so... I'm slightly worried that the Germans are going to march into here and the High Chief of Volhynia will not be sensible enough as to run away. Well, let's do what we can. Let's make sure that we've got... He's an organiser. Yaramir's an organiser, isn't he? Yeah, make sure we've got an organiser in that army to allow them to run. I will get myself a position in this army and we'll stick someone else half decent in there if we can find anyone. Thorir in there. And then the idea is that this lot then retreat into the mountains. Is it worth building a fort here? I don't know if it's worth it or not. It only really affects pagan homelands, so probably not worth it, but let's do it anyway, just in case it helps with our supply limit. So at the moment we get a defensive bonus there, but we have nowhere near enough troops. So now what we want to do is to back them off to Eppenstein in the hope that Germany chases us in there. If not... Do we back them off to Eppenstein? No. We back them off to somewhere where we won't have an attrition penalty, and we move into Eppenstein if and only if actually no, we back off to there. We move them into Eppenstein if and only if Germany moves to Eppenstein. Because then we won't get that crushing attrition penalty. He's not going to Eppenstein. Okay. He's going there. We don't get any defensive bonus for being in marsh. that case... Actually, let's back off to Philach. Why are we not in Philach? Philach's an excellent place to be hiding. Except that it looks like... we can't run away fast enough. Oh dear. Right, well in that case we have to stand and fight. Right, this may not go very well. We really don't have the men to win this battle, but I don't think there's anything else we can do but try. Because I think there's some chance we'll win it. Okay, we have a single army there. Let's just join them together and do the best we can. Actually, let's put me and Jan Leone in there. Let's see how badly this can go wrong. Everyone involved gets killed. And so far it's not doing too badly because they turned up with some fairly terrible commanders. They have broken our centre though, which is probably going to be bad. We need to get my flank off their centre. Oh dear. Surely I can't hold against that. No, I can't. There we go. Right. I mean, like, it was a glorious success in that we killed a third of their army. Less glorious success in that they killed 2/3 of ours.
If you're mining minerals at least twice as fast as them, then you can replenish.
Yeah, well, we are reinforcing quite quickly. I've just remembered that I can raise my reasonably cheap honour guard. So we'll do that and send them up to join my guys. Oh, I've got 600 allies in completely the wrong place. This is certainly not looking like a good war at this stage. That's nice. Do I care? I have no idea why those two are engaged. Let's assume it was a good plan. Yeah, whatever. I mean, like, our army is now slightly bigger than the German one. Just we need to organise ourselves well.
Right. And as soon as we need to evaporate, it's somehow confused state.
I suppose it's not evaporate, you say, but it happened 9 times yesterday.
Is he evaporate the snooze? I think I'll do the snooze.
Oh, that's right.
Is snooze. Don't. I'll stop doing it as well.
I doubt that.
Really when you sleep. Okay, taking that back because of dreams, to say, talk to breathe while you're asleep so that other people can hear you.
Where are you going? Come up here. Help me with this siege. I don't know why. Bavaria shows us a hostile. We are slowly weakening because we keep having to leave people behind in these counties. So we should keep an eye on what they're doing. I'm quite happy to meet them in Villach. So that would be safe. That would not be a good plan. Or we go. We don't really want to leave this county. Let's stay here for a bit and see what the Germans are playing at. We're not gaining anything by standing here, but we can get the German. We can see what the Germans are trying to do. They're wandering off. Where are they going now? We're going to Pongau, okay. We're going to Freising, right, well we'll stay here. Right, we now have a stone hill fort in Galindia. I think we want particularly to sort out the de jure territory, which includes this county. I mean, I have quite a lot of income. It's kind of tempting. Ooh. A famous herald well versed in the diplomatic protocol has arrived at our court. He is proposing his services to us, and our chamberlain is saying we can make good use of this man. So, for a fair amount of money, I can get a diplomat named Ennio. I'll go on, and then we'll see if he's of any use at all. I mean, yeah, okay, 20 diplomacy. If I didn't already have a perfectly good Chancellor, I would appoint him as Chancellor. Right, we are back up to 0 war score. But it's occurred to me that I have a decent amount of, like, my surplus income at the moment is 152 money a year. So that means I can afford a fairly decent let's see if we can find an undamaged mercenary company. So I can comfortably afford another 1,500 mercenaries. I could probably afford 1,750, though that lot don't look hugely... Well, I feel I want heavy people rather than light people. I think I'm more inclined to hire the Catalan band. Let's grab ourselves some mercenaries. I think they'll help.
Buffaloes, you think of. Right, good night.
And so now how are my finances? I'm still coming out slightly ahead, despite spending 137 gold a year on mercenaries. So basically I can keep those mercenaries supported forever. Oh, the great Shia Caliph Abu Bakr has decided to call a jihad... Oops, wrong cable. Unplugged one. Against the Kafirs of the Kingdom of Andalusia. He urges all righteous Shia Muslims to take up arms against the depraved King Athangildo of Leon for the glory of Islam. Allah is merciful. Well, maybe it'll distract people. Haturia is under siege, is it? Where's that? Oh, they're up there, are they? They're not. They're wandering somewhere else. They just happened to turn up there briefly. Right. So that, I think, is the entire de jure Duchy of Canton under our control, because it's those two counties. So now we probably want to start collecting. Yes, now so now we're getting war score from controlling Canton. So now I think we probably want to start picking up the de facto duchy. Yes, the wrong cable was that I unplugged the power cable from my laptop rather than the HDMI cable, because there's no one left here to watch it on the television anyway. I'm here all on my own. Where are you going now? Galicia Volhynia is not being the most helpful ally in this war, though they are at least doing better than the rest in that they're still around. All my other allies have cleared off. Oh, Prince Antonio has become a skilled tactician. That's nice. Well, I hope you enjoy your genius wife. So you would totally accept white peace now. Not giving it him now. Not yet, anyway. Let's see if he suddenly manages to turn this around. Because, like, I'm fairly sure he could if he were competent. Right, there's 7,000 troops heading my way. I want to be in some mountains with a decent supply limit. The supply limit there is quite adequate. So what I think I should do is finish this siege, which will take next to no time. Especially if I hit the... No, let's not assault it. It will take less time than it takes him to arrive. Then head across the border into Eppenstein and settle down there. With the idea being that we besiege that and hope that Germany just comes and tries to fight us for it. Which would be utter folly. So he's heading for Freisach. And we'll arrive there on the 4th of October. That means that we can probably get there before him, and Freisach is... Oh, Freisach's Marsh. We don't want to meet him in Freisach. Because, like, we might be able to win that battle, but it would be a close thing. I would much rather meet him here in Eppenstein. And, like, most of the wind... This is not a particularly harsh winter, so we can mostly run around mountains. So I think we stay where we are for now. If he wants to take back Freisach, he can. I think. We don't... If we move into Freisach... So he will have a river crossing penalty into Freisach. And he's got fewer troops than me, and he tends to field worse commanders. And I think we can arrive there first, and thus get the defensive bonus. Let's see what happens if we do that. So if we... He gets a river crossing penalty because we arrive marginally before him. But... Okay, this is slightly brave, but I think we have just about enough to win this battle. And a win would be nice. Okay, we've got ourselves 3 narrow flanks, which will help. Right, that was a win. My allies turned up to help at the last minute. Duke Friedrich of West Frisia was captured in battle and is now my prisoner. Entertainingly, that doesn't count towards my war score, despite his being a duke, so... Yes, we will happily have that much gold. Right, let us... I want to be a bit careful here. I might want to head back. Let's head down to Crine, because that's close to my territory and mountains. I'm like a little bit dubious about whether we might need to go back over into my territory for reinforcements. Oh, we're reinforcing there actually, so maybe it's not so bad. Not reinforcing much, mind. So how much are we currently paying? Yes! Chelmno has converted to Catholic, which means that I can upgrade Chelmno to being a castle. So for no money at all, this will convert that tribe into a castle and also build an entire city. Pause, damn you. There we go. I can even raise another 500 troops there. There we go. You lot, head south. No, don't head south by that route. That's a silly route. That takes you through lots and lots and lots of German territory. Oh, sorry, yes. Head down there. And then down there. Right, okay, they're reinforcing even there. I don't quite know how reinforcement works. Right, so that's one county there, properly converted to being Catholic. Just deal with Galindia as well. I should probably do something about like converting these to, about putting people into these territories, these places as well. So what I was going to look at actually was, how is my expenditure? I'm getting 100 gold a year. I could afford another mercenary company. As in, we killed enough of the previous one that they're not costing me very much anymore. And there are now only 996 of the 1500 we initially hired. So I think we can just about afford to hire the Breton band with the aid of that capital conveniently provided by the person we ransomed. Well, that was quick. So obviously we're going to want to create the Duchy of Pruthenia. Yeah, his opinion of me is still fairly terrible, because everyone's opinion of me is fairly terrible because of how long I've had their levies raised trying to take Canton. I need to be a bit careful. Right, Astore's betrothed is of full age and has turned out spectacularly. Pity we don't have anyone good for her to marry, really. Well, off you go. Right, Markvard's army is coming back. It's trying to get into Freisach. I think we wait for our next batch of mercenaries to turn up, and then maybe think about doing something about him. So we are getting let's do. It'll take him a little while to besiege it. Let's make sure we've got an organiser pulling them along, though. Oh, he's not. Look, if Markvard were sensible, he would be besieging something in De Jure Canton in order to get rid of my scary plus 26.66% occupies the whole of Canton bonus. But no, he's going to Graz instead. In time for me to get my I mean, admittedly, he can't see these. I mean, he can see them here, that I have 2,000 troops stomping around. I think, yes, I can't currently re-raise the... I think I have to dismiss my special troops in order to be able to re-raise them. He can't see this lot, but still... Oh, there's that lot, yes. Hello. Come and join me in crying, would you? The troops from my newly upgraded province. Oh yes, Nyeketel is going to join us as well. Thank you. She only turned out moderately brilliant. But, like, given who she's marrying, moderately brilliant is still better than him. Right, 100% war score. I don't even have to fight him. You were such a stoke there towards the end, Markvard. You could have won that. Well, maybe you could have won that. Actually, I think my cash situation was helping me hugely. Like, I have a lot of income when I need it. High Chief Mangold has usurped the title Chieftain of Villach and Chieftain of Corinthia. Right. So we have got quite a lot of mercenaries raised, if there's any little wars that want fighting. So let's wait for that army to cross the border. Yes, we're quite threatening, having just taken quite a large lump out of Germany. So let's dismiss everything that prevents us from declaring war. But we still have like those 2,800 troops. So if there's, say, a small loose county kicking around that wants collecting. What? I don't have a casus belli on a random county in on my doorstep. A weak claim won't cut it, will it? As there's nothing wrong with him. A woman probably won't cut it either. So what de jure duchy are you in? You're in a de jure duchy that's controlled by Romania. You may actually get away with staying independent there. Do we have a casus belli against them for that random county there? We do. They're a bit scary, but we could probably take Venice. I mean, another possibility actually. How are things going over in Leon? We could join the jihad on the defending side and just send that bunch of otherwise useless mercenaries over to join the jihad and see if we can work out how to get Crusader things. It says, is it really called crime? What really called crime? I don't think so. I mean, I was dealing with Senya and Bologna mostly. Or do you mean this place, which is called Craina? Anyway, I'm kind of tempted to just say, hey, King of Leon, would you like another couple of thousand troops? Because I've hired these and I don't have a use for them now. I mean, no, I'm not joining your holy war. But I will happily join in defending against a jihad. I think I'm meant to be able to get the Crusader trait for doing this, but last time I tried it didn't work. But, like, I don't think there's anything to be lost by doing this. You're losing. Your enemies are probably not going to tremble. So we have a truce with him now, I think. Yes. With Markvard, who is not currently at war, so we can check the usurpation numbers. Only control 30% of Desiree Germany now. It's going to be easier just to get a claim on the place. It's going to take a while for all of our levies to recover, though. It's going to take a while for Germany's levies to recover too. So where exactly is this jihad? Like, I've formally joined it, but I can't see anything going on over there in, like, Leon. Maybe because I hadn't unpaused after getting the answer. Yeah, that battle's going rather poorly. That battle went rather poorly. Everyone is joining the defensive pact against me. That's fine. There's only one person I want to attack. And it's going to be 10 years before my truce with him expires. Well, I mean, to be fair, I might be willing to consider some of my pagan neighbours as targets, which is precisely why they've all round here joined the defensive pact. And that's part of Germany. Greater Poland is still an entirely feasible target if I wanted to. But, like, I don't really need the land. Not really our holding. Oh! Queen Joshella has had gain intrigue as her ambition since she first became queen 20 odd years ago. Like, she was elected in 1018, it's now 1043, 25 years ago. 25 years ago? Yes. 25 years ago, Queen Joshella became Queen of Italy and decided she would improve her ambition. She has finally hired an old assassin to teach her how best to thwart the efforts of his kind. And thus she has gained 1 point of intrigue. Right, there's now a Corinthian revolt. Well, that's nice. They'll stay my vassals. We have a surprisingly large number of people in favour of Prince Gregory becoming next King of Italy. That is a fairly scary army of the Caliphate down there. Oh, but someone else has joined the defence against the jihad. The Queen of Portugal has decided it's in her interest to join. No, I'm not going to create the Kingdom of Carinthia. Duchy of Carniola is kind of interesting. I can now create the Duchy of Curetienne. How is our inconveniently big vassals looking? We have a new Duke of Ivrea who still controls, like, quite a lot of things. Who only has one duchy in his hands at the moment. We could give him, since he's got 3 eligible children, we could give him some more duchies so as to break him up a bit more. So is Verona now in his territory, I wonder? And Pruthenia we want to create, probably to give to our heir. Verona. So is Verona part of his lands? Kind of. So we could create the Duchy of Verona and then grant it to him, which will help to split things up further, which I think I like in general. I mean, it's fun having a big vassal whom I can get vast quantities of troops from, and who conveniently loves me. But I think... I mean, he's not that dangerously big on the other hand. Don't know. Maybe leave that for Gianleone to get him some extra prestige. I think we want to head... Oh dear, tough soldier, that's even less good. Yeah, my sons are not turning out well. How many of them have turned out German anyway? She's not German. He's German. He's German. He's German. Yeah, go on. Where were we? Oh, we were looking at my sons, yes. So, somehow ended up Italian. German. German. Why does he get a crown? German. 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 So we've done pretty well at turning the Di Spoleto dynasty German, at least. Even if we haven't accomplished anything much else. So, I think I'm meant to get the Crusader trait if I turn up in this county, which is part of the Jihad target. But I think I'm not going to. He's got a crown now. I mean, because he's just become Tsar of Bulgaria. Excellent. Courtier to Tsar in one step. Yes, what's the estimated time to completion there? Terrible. But yeah, like we've arrived in the target kingdom and I'm not a Crusader. So it looks like that doesn't work, possibly because Crusades haven't yet been unlocked. I'm not sure. I don't really want to join that battle. Let's start by moving across to there. That army's a bit scary now. I think the sensible thing might be to at least join up with the Portuguese army over here. Galician army. Who seem to be uncertain what they're doing. That's nice. Possibly I should start having a look around for interesting things that are going on. Don't have any grandchildren yet, it looks like. Okay, I just accidentally crossed over with the army I was planning to join up with. Chase them, chase after them. Oh, they're fleeing. They got into a fight. I see. They're not the ones I was trying to join up with. I don't know where the ones I was trying to join up with have got to. Are they actually here? Yes, it looks like it. Maybe I should attach myself to them. So that lot are going to Seville to join that lot. That's kind of worrying. But that might mean if that lot are moving out, maybe we... what's that? That's plains. I don't really want to be sitting there either. So who are we up against? We're up against the Fatimid. Right, so that is Fatimid territory, yes. So like I could plausibly just sit down and besiege some of that while we try to get our armies back together. Still plains though. Everything's so damn flat around here. I'm not sure why that says 892 when there are really far more than 892 troops there. If you were sensible, my dear Kayla, if you would send someone in to... Thank you. Right. Okay, how many troops have you actually got coming in here, though? They're going to Granada. Ah, but that lot are coming up to meet me. Right, that's definitely a bad thing. Let's just take advantage of having an organiser and move out. Any of these would be nice to get into a fight with. But curiously, they're all running away as well. So we might just be able to make it through there and catch that lot. We have a new Count of Provence, that's nice. Okay, that battle was not actually worth any war score. So where is everyone going now? That lot are heading, as you might expect, for Araucania. That lot are going to join them just to make things even scarier. So I kind of feel that our best bet is to try to stay out of the way of the bigger caliphal armies. In the hope that we can just fight the small ones. It's like, if nothing else, this will get my me and my commanders some practice. I mean, if things are going this well, it's kind of tempting to stick Gian Leone in there. He is pretty good. And you might get some practice as a result. So, I'd quite like to join up with them. We would quite like not to meet that lot. Where are they heading for then? They're heading for Nibla. Yeah, we want to get out of their way then. Okay, there are some tiny, tiny armies kicking around. You're heading for Araucania, you mad, mad people. No, not by that route. Let's see if we can join you there. Ah, my first grandson, Hupold di Spoleto. Not a genius. Okay, is the... oh, probably the entire large army is in Algeciras, isn't it? Algeciras. Something like that. Right, so we are currently besieging back something here, which is probably worth doing. But they're kind of massing their armies there. It's tempting to nip across the border. Can we get into Seville, squish them and get back again, do you think? Yes. Oh dear. One moment I'm shouting orders, surrounded by the clanging of swords and fighting around me. The next, everything goes dark as the world slips away from me. Are these people? Concerned faces? Everything hurts. I just want to rest. So, Queen Joshella the Apostle has received a crushing blow to the head and shows no signs of waking. Well, I suppose that's one consequence of going to war. My husband, Dolcibile, has been appointed as my regent. He's pretty good. Notable that even with incapable, I still have a diplomacy of 16. Well, we better appoint someone else into this role then. Hey, Gleb, you can take that. Don't think it's worth going and squishing an army of 77. I mean, I think there is an enormous army of the Caliphate brewing, or rather of him and all of his allies. But like at the moment, what? Oh, that's right. She's the daughter of. Sorry, she's turned out attractive rather than genius, which is unusual. So I should have a while this war is going on. Let's see what things are looking like if you're the King of Germany. Decent number of troops. I mean, not as many as I've got, mind. So Thuringia looks like being inherited by Welf von Weimar, but he has a brother who could inherit if he didn't. Angria is currently held by a child. I mean, I have a truce and I don't really want to break it because that would be quite bad. Like, we do have a couple of claimants on Angria at the moment. So that might be interesting in a bit. Bavaria is now mostly part of de jure Germany and is a lovely big duchy. He only has one son. Who would the duchy go to if his son were dead? That would then go to his daughter. Who is in no danger of joining my court, sadly. Plus he's got another daughter. You can't really get him into my court because he's too young at the moment. There are a bunch of weak claims on Bavaria as well, which might be feasible. So how many counties does that get me inside de jure Germany? 7, which is quite nice. Duchy of Austria is not de jure Germany. Most of the... There's Schwaben, isn't there? Swabia, sorry. He's got far too many sons. And anyway, it's an elective thing, so there's no way to inherit that one. So you would have to do that by claim. A few interesting people with weak claims on it, but meh. Where are you guys going, and can we kill you? Oh, excellent. So our Catholicization is slowly progressing. Oops. So, yeah, I think we don't have quite enough troops here to take that lot on. Unless they gratuitously give us an advantage somehow. I'm now slightly wondering if I could walk up to that lot. They're a bit small to be worthwhile, really. So where's the edges of the de jure kingdom we're interested in? Right, it's quite big. You guys coming to join me in Seville now? Yes. Right, I'm down one commander. You have no one good available in the realm. That lot are moving out of Malaga. We could stay here for now. Let's find ourselves a new commander anyway. Yeah. Well, that's terrible. And we've got a convenient holy warrior, which might be useful for this purpose. Is it worth marching on Malaga and, like, catching a small number of... Okay, you're marching on Malaga, I'll join you. Right, yes, now our aim is repeatedly pick off these small armies while they're foolishly small. That lot now staying there. Well, let's head down and hit them then. I mean, none of these is much good for war score, but... bit of military technology, bit of piety, bit of prestige. All nice. So let's march. I suppose we may as well just sit here and besiege things. No, because I don't really want to cross the Straits of Gibraltar. So let's finish this siege at least. It won't take long. increases our control of the territory we actually want. Oh dear. I wasn't paying attention. We can get away in time. I mean, that's plains, but at least we have some useful number of people there. Okay, they're not coming to fight us. I mean, I can't believe we're going to win this war in any useful way, but... At least because the caliph's just turned up with 26,000 troops. Right, some of whom are now marching on Seville. There's a distinct lack of mountains out here. How do you have wars in this sort of area? Even in the middle of you have to go all the way up to here to find mountains. Don't think we can flee that well. I don't know if we're going to be able to get away in time. But, I think that's my best hope. Right, we didn't manage to get away in time. We have some excellent commanders and are horribly outnumbered. I'm just hoping that my heir doesn't die. Right, Queen Joshella gave up the ghost comatose in bed. Born with unparalleled genius, Joshella was known for her sharp and brilliant mind. It's true, even when she was comatose in bed. A bunch of her titles have gone to her various sons, possibly not in the ways we were hoping, because I didn't really plan that. But King Gianleone is undisputed King of Italy. He has gained a great library and an apostolic palace. Bunch of the random sons have inherited the odd bits in Galindia. A bunch of her odd little claims have vanished. So, King Gianleone inherits the kingdom while on the battlefield, so that's not the correct portrait, in defending Christendom against the Muslim onslaught. badly. Well, I mean, to be fair, this was at like minus 50% when we joined this war. We're now at minus 12%. Clearly that's a success. Aha! You will observe that in my list of available decisions is form the Holy Roman Empire. Well, it's not yet available because to do this we need 1,000 prestige. Gian Leone currently has 271. Kingdom of Germany, don't currently have the Kingdom of Germany, and a personal wealth of at least 489.14. That is, with the realm's rival that of Charlemagne, I could be recognised as his true successor. And invoking Translatio Imperii, have Pope Urbanus II crown me as emperor of a new Roman empire in the West. So I could. Let's just not die on the plains of Seville. That's the Pope. We only have one Pope at the moment. Pope singular, Urbanus II. Obviously, he won't be the Pope I get to crown me. I will get my own Pope. Well, I mean, maybe he'll crown me and then I'll replace him. So, Gian Leone has a strong claim on the Kingdom of Carinthia, which doesn't exist. Oh, it does exist. Oh, right, the Kingdom of Carinthia got created on succession and controls Napoli. Give me Napoli back, you nuisance. My cousin Astore, one of Joscella's many sons, went and created the Kingdom of Carinthia on succession. Like, Italy's still pretty solid, but we have lost Carinthia to Astore, who was, I think, the eldest son of Joscella, and his genius wife, Lasser Fiona. So, yes, so Gian Leone needs to decide who his successor is going to be. He has a daughter, Adelheid, who is at least attractive, but also, like, newborn. Are presumably better candidates. There's another Gian Leone, this Gian Leone's father, but I don't think he's very good. You probably can't get Gregory of Sardinia and Corsica to take the job, or Astore of Carinthia, who would also be pretty decent. Gregory of Latium might be okay. Or Benilda. What's she doing? She's over in Romagna at the moment, is she? Well, I think the best candidates are Benilda 13, 12, 16, 3. That's not bad, really. Or 9, 12, 16, 9 for Gregory. Let's try Benilda. Obviously, she'll initially be my successor. So we're going to need to reappoint everyone. That's fine. Basically, everyone gets to keep their jobs. What? 27? 27? Hurrah for an excellent Queen Mother. Right. Right, we do at least have a legitimate daughter as well as Jacinta. So I think there's a limit, a prestige limit below which I can't, above which I can't choose become exalted. I mean, obviously he's going to achieve that if he manages to become Holy Roman Emperor. I mean, a son would be helpful. Let's go for having a son first, as that gives me a fertility boost, which is nice. Right. I'm short of commanders, partly because I was a commander and I'm not anymore. We still have a terrible supply of potential commanders. And like the options are not very good. So let's go for the ones with 18 and some interesting abilities. Also a bit short of lots of other people. Try to make sure that lot of there. So my titles are pretty minimal now. I might be able to take Corinthia in due course. I'm currently in a battle which is going badly. Yes, I'm waiting for commanders to arrive, aren't I? My council are currently doing nothing, but I think I'll let them rest for a little bit while I get a clearer idea of what's going on. Meanwhile, this battle is going poorly. Yes, that won't last. Or it might. Anna has come back. She's German now, that's nice. In that case, do I have any dangerous things? I don't. I think I should tutor Anna. Oh, I'm German anyway, I won't accidentally turn her Italian. Yeah. Can you not do any better than that, Anna? Rather awkwardly, I can't find out whether we can get her a better partner without breaking the betrothal, but... I mean, he is a genius and we're mostly using him for breeding. But, like, there is a danger she'll end up inheriting something, though frankly with those traits I hope she doesn't. Oh, we'll let it carry on. It's probably not the worst thing ever. I think I got pulled out of that army when when I inherited the kingdom. Which is probably for the best. I don't want to die on the plains of Andalusia for no good reason. So I'm going to stick my weakest halfway competent commanders on here. The ones that I would quite like to improve. And then I'll wait for that Leonese army to turn up. And then I will attach to them and pay that army no further attention. Like, I'm kind of funding them, but that's about it. Right. So now they're essentially under the command of the Leonese. We've put my 3 weakest commanders in there in the hope that this will get them some experience, but I don't think that war is winnable, and it's going to get tedious working on it. And then none of my troops are involved. I'm just funding some mercenaries. Great Library is over half complete. It'll probably be the Queen Joshella Memorial Library or some such. Okay, Benilde seems to be pretty popular. Yeah, as expected, Prince Gregory is the other one people seem to like, but she is pretty good. So Carinthia doesn't control anything that's de jure Germany. Pozzuoli is a weird thing to have a claim on. Gianleone, of course, does not have a truce with Germany, with the current King of Germany. But, oh my goodness, the current Duke of Milan hates me. Mostly because he's envious. So Salerno is actually now quite a powerful vassal. So I should probably be setting my moderately terrifying commander to improving Salerno's opinion of me. Because my troop numbers are currently fairly feeble. Which is largely because my vassal opinion is not that good. Right, Duke of Ivrea is still alright, but we've lost a fair number from some other... Why does he love me so much? I suppose he's probably German too, isn't he? And bizarrely tribal. Oh, and he really liked my predecessor, yes. So yes, I currently have only 13,000 troops. Germany currently has also only 13,000 troops, but I reckon we can get ours up faster than they can. The intruder. Yes, we have the genius king of Italy and the genius king of Germany. I mean, possibly I should be sending my Chancellor off to fabricate some claims in Germany, but yeah, don't know. I think I'm just going to get everyone researching technology for now. Except for my chaplain, who is converting places. So yes, and over here, so that got inherited by Prince Antonio, who is sorting things out as best he can. That county got inherited by Prince Alboino, who, even though it's a tribe, seems to have managed to get himself to be a count rather than a rather than a chief, which is good in its own in its small way. He is probably thus trying to convert that county. Marienburg we already granted to Mangold, and Samland was long ago granted out, and he still hasn't managed to convert that. So kind of it's not really my problem to convert them anymore, because none of them are actually held by Gianleone. Possibly we should look at whether there are any serious patches of religious revolt risk. Like Parma looks more dubious. Let's fix that first. So what's going on here then? Prince Antonio, his heir is the King of Carinthia, right? So there's the danger that Culm will go to King Astore. This won't be a problem as soon once he has children, which will happen fairly soon, I think. I don't think that's a big danger. And similarly, that's essentially what's happening everywhere, isn't it? Oh, he's got the Counts of Zerbst. Right, yes. So we probably want to plot to murder the Count of Zerbst, don't we? Because he's currently in Germany. Well, if we can get 184% plot power for 15 money. Have I actually invited him? Yes. I think I have. Okay, so the other one is that Prince Gregory, currently Duke of Latium, his heir is Princess Stefania, who is currently heir to the Kingdom of Sardinia and Corsica. But that being a kingdom is elective, I think. Yes, so I don't think that's a danger in that direction, at least, as long as if she inherits if she inherits Latium, she won't get to be Queen of Sardinia and Corsica. There's a slight danger if she inherits Sardinia and Corsica first. Though, frankly, I don't understand why she's currently heir to Sardinia and Corsica anyway. Surely there are better candidates for that. Right, we now have a pretty terrifying plot power for killing Count Bozidar. Okay, I have no idea why they're betrothed. I'm just waiting to see that banquet. See if we can inherit that. Oh dear. Success! Count Bozidar of Zerbst died of poisoned wine. Unfortunately, my complicity was discovered. Oh yes, and there we go. Zerbst is now part of our territory. Not quite sure why my vassal here is my rival. So I have a general opinion -10 due to being exposed as a murderer. %32 of Germany, Desiree Germany, currently controlled. I now have substantially fewer troops, partly because all my vassals now think slightly less of me. Wondering if they have any plus from the fact that I'm defending the place defending the Christendom against infidels, but apparently not. No. quite a lot of culture points, but not enough for the incredibly expensive extra noble customs. Can't quite buy another level of siege equipment yet. What's going on in our capital? Oh, we could build a new castle shipyard for extra galleys. Yeah, it might be useful to have as many galleys as enough galleys to actually take all of the levy. Right, so any of those fun? I mean, I can totally claim the Kingdom of Sardinia and Corsica, and indeed Romagna, on behalf of other people who will then become independent. That's not very helpful. But like, I don't actually want to become threatening any more than I have to. Though the critical thing is not to push King Markvard into being in the defensive pact against me. If we look at the current defensive pact against me, there's a... Oh! What? What have you done, Venice? Venice has, like, taken over most of the Kingdom of Croatia. Wow. Anyway, yes, so the defensive pact against us occupies most of the reasonable sized kingdoms nearby, except for Carinthia. The pagan defensive pact has that patch that we would plausibly expand into, though not Greater Poland. But in particular, Germany is nowhere near is not in any danger of joining it, because they're not that much weaker than us. Indeed, they're stronger than us at the moment. There is no defensive pact against Germany, probably because they're not quite as expansionist as Italy. We're about to lose another embarrassing battle over in Spain. But I'm sure this is turning out to be good for our commander's experience. Not really, no. Jaromir, Nuno and Guthfrid, who are the ones who are meant to be getting better. Jaromir might have got something out of that one. I mean, I'm a pretty good person to stick at the head of an army, but I'm not going to risk it out there. So, yes, we should probably stop soon. We gained ourselves a county by a strategic murder. None of the factions are anything to worry about. Yes, I'm currently teaching Princess Anna. I, yes, am sadly both proud and lustful. Just is an excellent thing for a king. And I think mostly we want to try to improve our vassals' opinion of us by any means we can. Going to be some effort. And then hope that eventually... Oh yes, more prestige is good for improving their opinion, isn't it? Which might be a good reason to create things. So we currently have very little prestige. And well, we'll see how it goes. Don't think we'll lose prestige when we lose that war. Right, anyway, hush, go to bed, Ben. It's far too late. So I will save now. Actually, let's have a little wander around the map, see what else is going on. So Navarra has a revolt. England has still not quite completely occupied Scotland. And the capital of England is now back sensibly in Middlesex. Ireland is still not unified. Norway controls Iceland but precious little else. And Scandinavia is split into all sorts of odd little bits. We have a fairly sensible arrangement. Okay, France has shattered into quite a large number of little pieces. Eastern Europe, on the other hand, is reasonably sane. We have a big solid Empire of Bulgaria and Kingdom of Hungary and Kingdom of Serbia, and a slowly declining Byzantine Empire. And yes, Venice, which has suddenly sproinged out across into a large area of what was Croatia. Is the Kingdom of Croatia being completely splotted then? It looks like it, yes. Is he the King of Croatia? No. Sorry, I have to find out now. Yes, there is currently no King of Croatia, which has been abolished. Right. So I shall go to bed, I think. Save. So I will say good night. Good night.